When and how to start your baby on solids. There are so many opinions on how to start solids for your baby in the first year. And as a pediatrician, this is a question that I get asked almost every day. So in this video, I will go over my tried and true steps to starting solids, and we will cover the most common questions asked by parents just like you about this feeding transition. Hi everyone, I'm Dr. Eileen Shi, a board-certified pediatrician. I work holistically with parents who want a child-centered approach to solve their children's health issues. So if that sounds like you, make sure to subscribe to the channel for more content just like this. A lot of parents really look forward to this time when you're transitioning your baby from strictly a milk diet to more solid foods. For some, it is normal to feel overwhelmed and nervous to make this transition. You might just be getting comfortable with your baby's feeding regimen, and then now it's time for a change. In the last 2 decades, I worked with thousands of parents and families who have had similar challenges and questions about introducing solids. To help you feel more empowered in initiating this step, let's discuss a few key topics like when to start solids, timing of feeds, and what to feed, how much, and considerations for food allergens. The best time to introduce solids is between 4 to 6 months of age. This is the time when your baby also begins to drool, start to gain more upper body strength that allows them to sit with some support, and most babies at this age range also begin to develop that better hand-eye coordination in terms of reaching for objects. Some babies may become curious about solid foods as early as 4 months. Like they'll stare at you when you're eating or coo or just desperately reach for your food. But there are also some babies who are perfectly content drinking formula or their breast milk, and they won't even bat an eye at your food between 4 to 6 months of age. I say this because that's important to notice because it helps to determine your baby's readiness to start solid. The American Academy of Pediatrics recommends starting solids as early as 4 months of age in formula-fed babies and as early as 6 months of age for babies who are exclusively breastfed. This is also to say any time in between this time frame when your baby is showing genuine interest in food, this might be a good time to consider starting solids. What to feed? The best solids to start with are pureed root vegetables, fruits, and legumes. These can be easily prepared by steaming, boiling, or baking these foods, and then blending them into a pureed or oatmeal consistency. You can add water, breast milk, or formula to make the consistency more runny, but in general, you want to aim for a consistency that is soft but can still hold its form on a spoon without any distinct crunch or pieces in that consistency. Foods like meats, eggs, and yogurt can be introduced a little bit later, between 6 to 8 months of age. Traditionally, for years, pediatricians have recommended starting your baby on rice cereal to obtain iron. True, fortified rice cereal has iron added to it, and it is easy to digest for most babies, but it is not the only food that is rich in iron. Iron-rich foods that are great to introduce in your baby's first year include spinach, lentils, quinoa, beans, pumpkin, oats, and nut butters too, just to name a few. Timing. Most babies by 6 months of age are still heavily relying on their milk for nutrition, either formula or breast milk. And they should continue to get most of their daily nutrition and calories from milk through the first 9 to 10 months of age. So when you start solid foods, work the feedings around their milk schedules. For example, wait 1 to 2 hours after their morning bottle to offer a serving of solids. By doing so, they're less likely to disrupt their milk intake schedule, which is still very important, but they will still have a chance to build an appetite to try something new. If you're just starting out in the first 2 to 3 weeks, try offering solids once a day, and then slowly increase to 2 to 3 times a day by the time that they are 9 months of age. By the way, if you found this video helpful, please give it a like and subscribe to the channel so that you will be notified of future content just like this. How much to feed? This really baffles a lot of parents because feeding your baby solids is very different from feeding a toddler or a young child. Solids generally are not a meal replacement until close to 10 to 12 months of age. As you start offering your baby purees, they may take 1 teaspoon one day, then none the other day. And some days they might take a whole 4 to 8 ounces of feed without hesitation. Now, for your own sanity, try to refrain from comparing your baby to videos of infants you see on social media. It is a huge pain point for many parents who come to me asking why aren't their babies eating like everyone else? Remember, there are many factors that play into how much your baby will eat, like how much milk they've had that day, whether they have had a bowel movement, whether they're feeling their best that day. So when first starting out, you want to set a consistent schedule so that they can anticipate that feed. The goal here in introducing solids in the first 3 to 4 months is not getting them full from food, but foremost to expand their palate and their interest in eating something besides milk. So no matter how much they've tasted or ate per feeding, it's still a win. Allergens. What about food allergens? Should I wait till later, or is it better to introduce them earlier on? This has been a hot topic for many years with a ton of research. The most well-known study is the landmark LEAP study that studied over 600 infants who are at risk for having peanut allergy. These infants were then divided randomly into 2 groups, one with exposure to peanut-containing foods early on, and the other group told to avoid peanuts. The study showed that there is 10 times lower rate of food allergies to peanuts when peanuts were introduced earlier on, between 4 to 6 months of age, and consistently through their first 11 months of life. In contrast, children who avoided peanuts in the first year were 10 times more likely to show food allergy by 5 years of age. This study has helped us understand that the body learns to tolerate food allergens when it is introduced early on and offered consistently. This allows common food allergens to be tolerated and not to be seen as a threat to the body. If there is a strong food allergy that runs in a family, it is always prudent to check with your pediatrician prior to starting so that you will have a game plan in mind. Feeding your baby solids can be an exciting time, but stressful because of all the changes. As a pediatrician mom, here are a few tips to give you to keep you grounded in this process. Number 1, don't overthink it. Start by offering once a day, then slowly work your way up to 3 times a day based on a schedule that works for you. 2, we are not aiming for a quantity here, but just simply exposure and repetition to get your baby used to this new concept of eating foods. 3, your baby doesn't need a full set of teeth to chew, but try to offer foods that are easily mushable with your fingertips. 4, avoid foods that can be a choking hazard, like spherical grapes, corn, or large spinach leaves that can cause gagging. 5, try more than once and repeat. 6, be prepared for mess and lower your expectation on cleanliness. Playing with foods through their mouths or fingers and getting it everywhere is really part of the exploration of new foods and eating. And with that, I wish you all a fun and eye-opening experience in introducing solids to your baby. There are many ways to do it, and be proud of yourself for trying and taking this big step. In our Las Vegas-based practice, we work with families one-on-one, offering concierge individualized care to each patient holistically, minimizing the unnecessary use of pharmaceuticals and treating the root cause. To learn more about how you can work with us, click on Become a Member and fill out the information so that we can schedule a time to chat. Thank you all for watching. See you next time as we navigate the world of holistic pediatric medicine.